My name is Nick Benson here with Federal Hybrids, and I'm standing in a field of corn here wanting to answer the number one question I get this time of the year. Today is July 18th, 2019, and undoubtedly the number one question I get right now is, hey Nick, should I spray fungicide on my corn this year or not? That's always a loaded question, a lot of variables to figure. But the number one thing I do is I want to look at the disease triangle. The disease triangle has three sides. One is there a susceptible host? Two, is the environment favorable? And three, is the pathogen present? So this year in particular, we've had a little bit too warm a days to have eye spot or northern corn leaf blight, which could be two main funguses for us here in northeast Iowa. It has been warm enough to have two of the other main ones, which is rust and gray leaf spot. Our temperatures have turned here this last weekend, so we're primarily looking at gray leaf spot this year. So when I look at that, and I'm looking at that recommendation, the first thing I want to do is say, first thing, is there a susceptible host? So look at the hybrid scores. Does it have a poor gray leaf spot score? And that would be one of the first places I would look. The second place I would want to look is, two, is the environment favorable for it? So once again, we look at right now, we've been warm enough for that disease, and what does the long-term forecast look like? Is it above average temperatures, a little bit more humidity or higher dew points? And I would say that it's a pretty good chance that gray leaf spot can continue to become evident. And then the third thing I would look at is the pathogen present. And so the spores for gray leaf spot overwinter in residue. Okay, in corn residue. So if it's a corn on corn field, it's going to be a higher likelihood that that field will have gray leaf spot. And then also, because it overwinters in the residue, if it's a no-till field, we're going to have higher likelihood of gray leaf spot being present in the corn. So then the next thing you'd say is, well, what does this disease look like? So let me see if I can find some. It's usually easier to find on the lower leaves because those have been around long enough. But this would be gray leaf spot. Gray leaf spot is, they consider it cigar shaped, so it's usually contained within the leaf margins of the leaf, and it usually comes to a rather abrupt spot. So we start looking at ear leaf, the leaf at the ear and above, to see the level of infestation, and that would be where I would start in making my recommendations for fungicide. This is Nick Benson here in northeast Iowa. Specifically, I'm standing right outside of Elgin, and that is the crop report.